So tell me a little bit of the difference between, because I've heard he was a great practical joker as well with Keith, but he never took the piss out of you. What does that mean versus practical joking?
Well, let's put it this way. Okay, a couple of things that happened to me over the years. When we toured Australia, Keith called my room and said, "Kenney, fancy going to the bar?" I said, "Yeah, great." So, okay, great. So we both of us like to drink, see? So I said, "Okay, right." So he said, "Come up to my room." So I went up to his room, and so he opened the door, and I couldn't help but notice about 8 to 9, 10 drums, snare drums, all lined up on the floor. And I said, "What are they for? What are you going to do with them?" He said, "I'll show you what we do with them." So I picked one up, right, went to the window and threw it out the window. I went, "Oh no! Don't forget, we're in the middle of Melbourne, overlooking the high street downstairs. We're about 5 stories up."
And you're in the faces at this point, correct?
I was in the small faces. Yeah.
Small faces, okay. Yeah.
And one night we chopped the bill, next night they chopped the bill.
Okay.
They went on like that. So we looked out the window and saw this snare drum bouncing up and down, rolling down Melbourne High Street, all falling to bits and God knows what. And we thought, we better leg it out of it. We'll get out of this straight away. So we went straight to the bar.
That's unbelievable.
Another time we were in, where were we now? Somewhere, in Scotland. And we did a lot of touring in England and Europe together as well. So we got to know each other really well. It's like being in one band. So he said, I've got these plastic legs. I said, "Oh yeah." He said, "Well, we'll go to the next gig, right? And you can, we'll just have a bit of a joke." Because Keith had a white Rolls Royce, typical Keith, and right behind the Rolls Royce grill, he had a speaker and a microphone inside, and a little amp. And so just to find these old ladies with their shopping. And then,
scare them.
Yeah, now we're in Edinburgh High Street, stuck in a traffic jam. The buses one bus was coming this way, and we're going the other way in the white Rolls Royce. And so he shouted through the microphone. He's going and dangling out these plastic legs, and saying, "Rape, rape, 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 help!" So one guy stopped his bus and jumped out of his cab to try and help. We just drove off. Then we get outside Edinburgh. The police came on us when we filled up with petrol. Well, gas.
It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so we filled up with petrol, and the police came out of nowhere, and we told them what had happened. They said they let us off and said, "Oh, don't play any more practical jokes." That was that. Then another time, because I never knew what was going to happen with Keith. It was all the things that were funny. They weren't that bad, So I'm in my room, and then I thought I could hear this sort of noise, rustling noise, and it was coming from, when you go to your room, there's always a desk there, something like built into the wall, and then there's a little chair in front of it, and a sort of hollow bit underneath you can put your legs. And so I thought, this is coming from there. So I thought, I got on my knees and I'm just listening, and it's getting louder and louder, this rustling noise. I thought, they must have rats or mice or something. So I watched it and it got louder and louder and louder. And now I'm getting concerned. And then suddenly the wall started to move. I thought, shit, it's moving. So there must be big rats here. So I'm just about to leg out of the room, and suddenly this head pokes through the wall. And it's Keith. "How's your drink, dear boy?" It's great.
He had smashed through the wall, the other side of the wall.
Yeah. I didn't realise he was in the room next door to me.
It's crazy. And these and many other reasons are the reasons you guys got kicked out of Australia, it sounds like, right? So
some of those reasons. Funny enough, it wasn't our fault, really. It was an Australian band's fault. It wasn't ours.
Somebody else's fault on this.
But we did cause havoc when they tried to accuse us of stuff we never did. So they kicked us off the airplane. We got off the airplane at gunpoint.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they accuse you of?
Well, what it was, in Australia, the flights you took in those days, you had to you weren't allowed to drink alcohol on the internal flights, and so we had an Australian band opening the show for us, and so we didn't know this, but they'd smuggled in their own booze and we were all tired from partying the night before. We were collapsing, we were asleep. And then suddenly Paul Jones was a solo artist. Do you know Paul? Manfred Mann.
Oh yeah, sure. I know Manfred Mann. Yes.
Well, he released a single on his own, and he was promoting this one. And Paul was very posh, very sort of like itty-bitty.
Okay.
You know, that sort of thing. I can't even speak that posh.
Yeah.
And he said the aerostess came with a trolley serving coffee and sandwiches and whatever drinks. And she walked straight past Paul. I'm awake anyway. I could see what had happened. So Paul said, excuse me, I want a cup of coffee. She ignored him. So he said, I pulled the light thing up there for attention. And she came back and said, he said, I want my cup of coffee. I paid my ticket and all that. You've got your booze. You stick to that. She got upset.
Yeah.
So then Paul said, look, I paid my ticket. I want my coffee. This was getting louder and louder. That woke Mooney up as well. So Mooney going, oh. Yeah, we want coffee. We want our coffee. So now the road crew were woken up and everybody's, now we all want our coffee. So we're banging on the floor of the airplane. So there's a lot of us banging on there and just saying, we want our coffee. And that was it. So the aerostess said, I'm going to have to if you don't shut up, I'm going to have to get the captain. So we got louder and louder. So the captain came out and said, if you don't pipe down, he said, I'm going to have to divert to another airfield, which I think was Melbourne.
Okay.
I think. So we said, oh, I got louder. Let's get our coffee. We're not going to stop until we get our coffee. So the captain came out again and said, right, I've got to divert and get you guys arrested. So we diverted the plane to Melbourne, wherever it was. I keep forgetting. I think it was Melbourne. And he said, so it was in the days where these airports were really small. They don't have these sort of galleyways and hydraulic step off the plane into the building. Yeah. So the aircraft was parked, the ladder comes down, and then from the airplane itself.
Wow.
And then, so we then walked down. There's two police with machine guns at the bottom.
Yikes.
So we all walked up like that. So funny. Then we went into there's always the guy who's in charge of the whole airport. So we went in there and then we told him what had happened.
Yeah. And
he said, well, it sounds like it wasn't your fault. So this is what we've been trying to say. You know. And so then we got a public apology from the guy in the airport and from the captain and from the airline itself. But by the time the news hit England, it was the rock stars let the side down, let England down, terrible people, God knows what. So we got a bad name anyway.
And did you ever get your coffee?
No.
This whole crisis could have been averted if she just would have given you the coffee, right?
All because of a cup of coffee.
All because of a cup of coffee. It's amazing. Oh, yeah. Man. I love hearing these stories, Kenney. Thank you for sharing them. The other thing that I did not realize until I was reading more and did research was you were with Keith the night before he died.
Yeah, no, it's spooky, eh?
It is spooky. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was forming a band with Glenn Johns. Glenn Johns was putting a transatlantic band together. There was half American and half English, and it was very much like England meets the Eagles sort of thing. It was great. A guy called Bill Lamb was a singer and a songwriter. He was great. It's really good. So I got along really well with him. It was a great band we were putting together. There was a girl in the band as well. She was a great singer. So it was really great. And we were signed. We were just about to sign to Atlantic Records. In those days, for I think it was about $1.5 million, which was a lot of money in those days.
Absolutely.
This is going back. What time was it? 1976, I think.
Well, and I know Keith died in 78, right?
Yes, he died in 78, so it was before then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's around about that time, same months ago. Well, it might be 77. I've lost my plot now. Hang on, I've got to remember my space where I was.
That's fine. We were talking about Keith and the night.
So that's right. So I Paul McCartney had the premiere of his Buddy Holly film, That'll Be the Day. Was it That'll Be the Day? No. Can't be, it might have been.
I think it was.
Yeah. So it was on the day I arrived back from America, visiting the other half of the band. So when I landed, I came straight from the airport, straight into the premiere. What I thought was going to be the premiere, it wasn't really. It was the premiere, but it was straight into. Paul does things in mysterious ways. He had the after party after as if when you have the premiere, then you all leave the premiere and go to a party. We had the party, so a place called Peppermint Park in London, and it's a short walk to Leicester Square Odeon to watch the film.
Okay.
So we had the party, and then in the party, the pre-party, I found myself sitting with me, Keith, Paul McCartney, Paul's brother, who was with the scaffold at the time, and David Frost, who became Sir David Frost. And so we're sitting there all talking to each other, and then Keith said, well, what are you up to? I said, I told him I just got off a plane, I've just got this new band, putting together with Glyn Johns. I told him all about it. He said, great. I said, how are you then? How's your health and all that? He said great, I can't have a drink anymore, I haven't had a drink, no drugs. I said, great, because you look great. He said, yeah, no, I feel a lot better. I said, okay, great. He said, if I have a drink now, I have to, it makes me violently ill with the pills I'm taking. That's it. Generally talking around that. Then we all legged it walked around the corner to the Odeon, Leicester Square, watched the film. It's now about, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning, something like that. And we all said goodnight to each other. I said, good night, Keith, good night, everyone. And I went back I used to live in Hampstead at that time, in London. And then I woke up the next day, I turned the TV on, and the news came on shortly afterwards, and it said, Keith Moon has been found dead with a drug overdose. I thought, oh no, what's he done now? Because it's like, it's got to be a practical joke, because that's what it was all about. And I didn't realise it was true. Right. Funny enough, he's staying in the same flat that Mama Cass was in, that she died in.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Then that was it. So.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, what was that like for you? You guys were friends. You saw him.
It was heartbreaking, because it was, I mean, especially seeing someone that you knew quite well the night before, and the next day they're dead. It's kind of weird, you know. And I had a lot of exciting things happening for me at the time, so I'm on a fairly upbeat. And to be brought down with the death of a good friend in such a tragic way was terrible. But I've got to tell you, it's only when I joined New, when they asked me to join the band, that's another story entirely. But when I joined the band, you know, I found out exactly what happened to him. I said, well, you know, but what happened was Keith left the party, the premiere, where we said goodnight to each other. He'd gone to the flat, taken his nighttime pill, right, and that was it. Went to bed. Woke up a couple of hours later, thought it was morning, and took the morning pill. And these pills, apparently, if you take them that close together, it slows your heart down. So it's an accidental.
Yeah.
Shall I go with this?
Yeah.
But it's an accidental one. So I try and point that out to many people as I can, because he didn't do it on purpose. He wasn't taking drugs. He was taking drugs to stay alive. Anyway, that's that.
Yeah, he was actually working on it. You know,
Yeah.
there probably could have been many more times when he was partying that he could have passed, but he was actually working. So it's just tragic.
Well, I would have given anything to change anything. If I could have, I would never. I would much rather not have joined her and Keith be alive. I really would.